welcome to this special program. I'm Nidhi Razdan. We're urging all Indians to come on board NDTV's No VIP campaign. It's so rampant, so common that it's virtually a part of our culture. VIP signs, VIP lanes, flights held up for VIP ministers, traffic jams for VIP weddings, and now even hospital rooms that are reserved for VIP MPs and MLAs. Where then do the special privileges stop? That's the VIP culture that we are saying no to. India has had enough.
Healthcare is perhaps one of the most important public sectors that can often be life-changing. But even in this sphere of life, India's notorious VIP culture prevalent in many ways. Lucknow's civil hospital caters to hundreds of patients daily. But its proximity to the city's VIP areas has meant it also has to cater to those in power. Is there also some provision for when Chief Minister or Governor, who are the heads of state, travel?
If they travel, because they are important people, a well-equipped ambulance with a doctor goes in the fleet as per protocol.
Do these facilities in any way hamper what the general public or how the general public gets treated or
not really?
In a similar strain, at the Sanjay Gandhi Postgraduate Medical Institute, the state's super speciality hospital, a VIP cell right at the entrance, and a room to attend to MPs and MLAs, not just current but also former.
We cannot call it a reserved facility. We can only call it a facilitative service. If there are different categories, it would be unethical.
And for the Aam Aadmi who has to stand in line, the wait is not easy.
2 घंटे तो मेरे पहले बार नंबर लेने में लग गए, उस बार डॉक्टर दिखाने में 2 घंटे लग गए।
वीआईपी तो जो चीज अच्छा है वो तो स्वयं कर सकता है, ये तो सुविधाएं आम आदमी के लिए करनी चाहिए ना।
Leading many to rightly question why those who have the resources and money should be given any special privileges at public hospitals. With camera person Ramesh Verma, Neha Masi for NDTV.
Well, we've certainly been at this VIP campaign, or no VIP campaign as we call it, for weeks now. The question is whether on the ground that's really going to translate into a fundamental change in the culture of this country, in the way that netas think, that judges, that those who consider themselves important in the social and public structure think. Because at the end of the day, it's up to us to make that change. Sohail Seth is joining us tonight from Bangalore. We have Shaina NC of the BJP joining us from Mumbai. Saurabh Bhardwaj, MLA of the Aam Aadmi Party, here in the studio with us. Sohail, you know, I'd heard of everything. We've heard of separate lanes for VIPs, separate lounges in airports. But now, you know, separate rooms in the hospital, that takes it to a whole new level. I was totally shocked by Neha's report.
But you know, Nidhi, you shouldn't be shocked. And my appeal through NDTV to every tax-paying citizen of this country is use those facilities as well. And if someone stops you, slap them. You know, many a time I have walked into airport, those reserved areas, and actually sat down. Because if my mother's there with me, you know, she's old or someone's there, and they tell me, oh, it's only for ministers. I said, but they are public servants. We are the people who are actually the people who should be given these privileges. A, B, many a time at the airport, I've had members of parliament and, you know, some of those jokers who will tell the CISF person, do you know who I am? And I always turn around and tell that chap, if you don't know who you are, how will this poor CISF gentleman know who you are? The problem, Nidhi, is we have allowed these people to become the rulers rather than be public servants that they really are. A, B, we have sacrificed our rights as citizens because we are scared of reprisal. When these people ask us to walk, we as a nation are willing to crawl. The tragedy is we don't know our rights. And these people subjugate every avenue of either compassion or civility. I have seen ambulances, but why go far? I'll give you a small example. Aam Aadmi Party, the Trojans behind civility and, you know, equality and simple living, they blocked traffic near Saket, and I tweeted about it, for 3 hours, and their cadres didn't allow ambulances to pass through. Because if you know, that's the hospital kind of avenue for some parts of Delhi.
I'll get Saurabh Bhardwaj is here, and let him answer that. That actually even the AAP, I mean, it's certainly trying or attempting to be the different political force in this city, in particular in this country. But even you don't seem to be immune to this VIP problem.
Right. Look, we were a group of social activists, RTI activists, or professionals from different walks of life, and we were full of idealism, and we brought in few things which were welcomed by a lot of people, media as well, and we still, you know, try to stick to those principles. Yes, there may be a few discrepancies, but we are ready to, you know, learn from them. And
so
we
you
still
admit
believe
that mistakes are made?
yes,
That's
there
a
could be
good
some
thing.
mistakes. There
Okay.
could be some mistakes, but we still believe that, you know, there should be an end to the VIP culture, and we don't want like that it should be only Aam Aadmi Party. We welcome all political parties, you know, everybody to start getting into this Aam Aadmi
But
culture.
Saurabh, let me ask you, one of the things that is a sort of the biggest symbol in Delhi, at least, of the horrid VIP culture are the Lutyens bungalows, okay? Now, Arvind Kejriwal in the past, there was so much controversy when he was Chief Minister the first time around. He didn't want that, he didn't want security, etc. This time, of course, he is looking for a Lutyens bungalow. Manish Sisodiya has found a bungalow in which to stay in. The justification that is being given is that we need a space where people can come and meet us. We can't do that in the little flats that we live in currently. My point is, why should taxpayers pay for that? Shouldn't the party pay for that? Shouldn't you pay for that? Why should taxpayers pay for that? Isn't there time to end that whole system
Yes.
of government bungalows, government homes that we as taxpayers are paying for?
Yes, for sure. I think everybody, including Manish Sisodiya, Arvind Kejriwal, everybody is open to public scrutiny. And you as media and we as party people should always scrutinize whether the need is legitimate or not. I do agree. I was also a minister. There are times when you need some minimum facility because you have a lot of people visiting, you know, visiting a MLA or a mantri, and you should have some space. But yes, I agree that that space should always be open to scrutiny, and wherever it is found that, you know, in the name of convenience of people are enjoying luxury, they should be questioned, and we as Aam Aadmi
interesting.
Party.
So, a quick comment
question
from
it.
you before I take this to Shaina. You just heard, you know, what Saurabh was saying about what the AAP is trying to do. Now, do you believe that they are fundamentally, at least in Delhi, trying to address this issue of the VIP culture, or that they are in danger of falling into that trap as well?
No, to be fair to Aam Aadmi Party, they are. They are attempting to do things, but you know, it's not just about wordplay, it's also about actions and deeds. Having said that, I must say one thing: India is not the only country which practices politics, and our politicians aren't the only people in the world whose constituents come and meet them. We have this stupid habit of also giving retired presidents and prime ministers homes for life. Why? Why on earth should we? Why do we have these samadhis for people who even the country doesn't remember? I mean, in some cases, even their families don't remember. We have created a pernicious culture of buying and kowtowing to people in power. As long as we don't change as citizens, as long as organizations like NDTV don't goad us into bringing about this change, you're not going to see this change. Because see, the average common citizen is scared. He's scared of reprisals, he's scared of being bullied, he's scared of a gun culture. I mean, in Delhi, if you don't allow one of these jokers, they'll whip out a gun and kill you. You saw what happened in the case of Jessica Lal. So, there is subversion of democracy, there is a redefinition of democracy, and here I have only one issue with Saurav. Saurav, we are living in a democracy where everyone is equal. Whether you're in power or out of power, no one is less or more equal than the other. Why on earth should you have privileges? If you can't meet your constituents, where were you meeting your constituents before you came to power? In your homes. So why can't you continue that culture?
Okay,
This whole thing of Lutyens own bungalows, bungalow 7, bungalow 8, it's rubbish.
You know, at least he's saying he's open to suggestion on that, and they, you know, they're getting a lot of flack for the
Absolutely, I agree.
bungalows,
I agree with it.
which is a good thing. Shaina, NC, the point though is that a good point that Sohail also made, that, you know, you know, why should, for instance, those who are former prime ministers, former presidents, they get, you know, government property, you know, big palatial homes that they live in after they retire. Should we continue to have that practice? There are ministers even today who are enjoying privileges, like for instance at the airport, they can drive up straight to the aircraft. There are not just ministers but other leaders. Yes. So is this government doing enough in terms of changing the culture? That's the question.
I think there are very many serious points that both your panelists have raised, and Nidhi, for a change, I think all your panelists are of the same opinion that we need to completely move out of this VIP syndrome. But I want to question, before I answer your question, that there are so many people in Delhi who don't belong to the political class, who are bitten by this VIP syndrome, who have personal bodyguards, who have weaponed personnel. All of this is also condemnable. Now, the fact that politics has changed is only a foregone, and everyone knows that there is a certain propriety in public life, and if you feel that this ostentatious play is going to work, I seriously think that the next election will be a befitting answer to all these pompous politicians who choose to, scout around with all kinds of entourage, or for that matter have special privileges. Who is using a red beacon, who is staying in which house, these are all serious issues, and it's no longer a battle of perception versus reality. It is a serious issue vis-a-vis who we have chosen and what we have chosen them for. I want to very quickly say that the AAP party clearly seems to be talking this moral talk, and I wish them well if they can live up to it, but there seem to be a lot of double standards and double speak there too. At the same time, one realizes, Nidhi, that there are so many cases of people misusing their positions. Yes, do we need to rework who's living at Luton's Delhi and who's got homes and for how long,
no,
and
but
whose
China,
samadhis are being built
would you
and
stick
whose
your
are
neck out
not?
today and
Yes,
say
but
that
I
the
think that
taxpayer shouldn't pay for ministers' bungalows? Why should we? Why should we pay for those huge homes that ministers and MPs are all allotted in Delhi? Would you stick your neck out and say it's time to end that?
I think it's time to end ostentatious politics, because the mantra today in 2014 is clearly performance, and if you don't perform, perish, which has happened to the Congress party. I mean, who thought that, they would be so clearly wiped out that they'd have to leave their homes in Luton's Delhi? And that, I think, is the beauty of a democracy. Whether we want to combine the two issues and say that, residences are the only objective, or whether it's about red lights, or whether it's about special security, or whether it's about jumping queues at the airport, where you've seen people get really nasty in their reactions, and I think they're entitled to do so. But I think we as a society in India need to understand that if somebody is throwing his or her weight around, there is a social ostracization which needs to take place, which sometimes we don't do.